Hello and welcome to the episode of The Card Show. Hope everyone is well. Another week in the hobby has gone by. An interesting week because also we have the week after the National, so we've had a very hectic month in the card space with Fanatics first, obviously the World Cup going on, and now with the National being over. Over here in the UK, obviously we had now the lead up to London Card Show, which of recording this is 6 days away, 5 days. Oh, it starts on Friday, so 5 days away. So yeah, it's very interesting. Look, to just think of, is there still money in the hobby after people spent over the biggest UK/European contingency going over to the US for the likes of National Fanatics Fest? I think there's a bit of an air of, that's disappointment. There's an air of, well, I can't think of the word, but intrigue, mystery, I suppose. Of will there still be money in the room? Will there still be transactions? Will there still be cards flowing? Will people still have the energy? From the vendor's point of view, that have been across in America for the last few weeks. It's been a very hectic time, a lot of flights. So it's going to be very interesting to see. We're looking at some data where it's currently going in the hobby. So we'll go through some stuff here because it's very interesting to know where the money's going and where the interest is at and what's got the attention at the moment. Obviously, there's not a great deal of sports going on at the moment. So yeah, and currently on for the card ladder. So the index is here. Disney up 60.25%, which is astronomical. It's crazy. Absolute, like, if you look at the chart, it is just boom. It is took off massively. Very interesting to see. Just I think there's been a lot of content come out from the National, more so than Fantasy Fest, around Disney cards. I think there was it Dominic Mysterio? I'm speaking to Card Collector 2. I saw him today on Instagram. Someone introduced him because he had a large Disney collection, which also he's collecting with his son. I think Real Harry's World, Harry Reynolds, who runs the London Card Show, he's put out a few bits of content of buying and selling Disney cards. We know JJ, it's called Joe, hosting a JJJ card, but yeah, that card, Joe, is with Disney. But yeah, it's really, it is 12x the next closest one, which is crazy to see. Yeah, astronomical change. So Disney, it just seems to be the one. And I saw that I did see around about a week ago or so, 4 or 5 days ago, the price of the Disney Chrome, I think it was, and it was, I can't remember if it was a case. It was astronomical. The price was astronomical. It was numerous thousands. So it's crazy to think, that there's just this big chase now for Disney's products. It's going to be very interesting how that plays out. Next up behind that was Culture. On card ladder, it's Culture 5-1. So yeah, there are 51 cards hand selected by Zero Cool that best represented the culture market. So that's up 5.14%. So you can sell 5.14, which is next closest compared to 60.25 of Disney. Just crazy. Next to that was entertainment at 4.64. And then we have TCG 83. So TCG 83 is 83 cards hand selected by Pancake Analytics that best represent the TCG market. And that is up 4.30%. Dragon Ball Z is up 4.04%. WNBA is up 2.92%. Obviously, all sorts of news with the WNBA, with games, and the whole drafting scenario with Ennis Cantor declaring eligible for the draft of 2027. Which is interesting. Marvel up 2.40. Ultra modern Pokemon, that his Pokemon cards released 2017 or later, that is up 1.82%. Mid-end cards whose last sale was between $500 and $5,000. Interesting. is up 1.55%. UFC and MMA up 1.50%. And then basketball 1.49, racing 1.32, high pop. Cartoons pop count is 200 and greater. Interesting. Up 1.18%. Football, which is American football, NFL, up 1.12%. Bowman 100. Tops, Generate, and Card Ladder have teamed up to track 100 of the most frequently graded Bowman Chrome prospect autographs in PSA 10. Interesting. That is up 1.02%. Modern, so cards released between 1984 and 2008, is up 0.94%. Wrestling up 0.90%. Mid pop cards whose pop counts are between 31 and 199, up 0.88%. Magic up 0.80%. And then there's pre-war vintage, so cards released 1945 and earlier is up 0.71%. Ultra modern, cards released 2009 and later, up 0.71%. High end, so high end cards whose last sale was greater than $5,000, up 0.64%. Vintage Pokemon. Pokemon cards released 2002 and earlier is up 0.56%. Low end cards whose last sale was less than $500 is up 0.55%. Vintage cards released between 1946 and 1983, 0.55%. Low pop cards whose pop count is 30 and less, up 0.53. Tennis is up 0.51. Star Wars 0.50. Baseball 0.49. Pokemon 0.49. The card ladder 50, which 50 hand-selected cards that best represent the card market. That is up 0.40. Then there's modern Pokemon. Pokemon cards released between 2003 and 2016 is up 0.15. Outlier. The methodology for the outlier index is simple. Include every card that fails to qualify for card ladder's traditional indexes. Interesting. Is up 0.07%. Soccer is up 0.03%. Obviously a bit of a high from the World Cup. It's dipped a little bit and picked up a little bit. And then we get into the decreases, which is Yu-Gi-Oh! At 0.26. One Piece at 0.54. Hockey at 0.87. SX100, 100 cards hand-selected by slab stocks that best represent the ultra-modern market. That is down 2.96%. Golf is down 3.22%. And Gong Show 100, 100 cards hand-selected by the hockey cards Gong Show podcast that best represents the hockey market is down 3.56%. So interesting look there at the market. What's it? Top three. Disney culture and entertainment. Either 4.6%, 4.64%, 5.14%, and 60.25%. Disney is obviously by far the one that is just obliterating the market there, and seems to be the place that people are hedging their money at the moment. It'll be interesting how that plays out, especially with card shows. Some card shows that do it sort of like TCG and sports. With the Disney one, especially when it comes to Chrome, it's not really a trading card game, is it? So yeah, it could be interesting. It's not sport either. So yeah, you have to class yourself down to Disney as a TCG seller. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see because will we see more Disney outlet shows in the UK? I can safely say the shows I was at, Disney was few and far between. So we may just see sellers with tables of Disney cards these next few months to a year. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Very interesting. Let me know your thoughts. Are you in on Disney? Do you think this is the beginning of the bubble? Are we close to bursting this bubble? Crazy times. I remember the whole Disney license. Disney with the Mickey Mouse. Then like Saturday morning cards could release a Steamboat Willie stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. Disney is also a massive hype. Interesting. Um, Next up, the Dallas Mavs. You may have seen the bounty for the Cooper flag rookie. I was shocked. I think is the word I'll probably use there. Wasn't expecting the Dallas Mavs to jump on with the bounty, especially the amount they had in their bounty as well. It was. It's a very. I'm trying to find the actual. I'm sure I had the actual. Yes, the bounty. Here we go. I knew I had it somewhere. So their proposed trade for their bounty. So the Mavs did it like a trade in the draft. It's quite funny. The Mavs receive 1/1 Cuba Flag debut patch autograph card. You receive, and this I guess interesting for the person who wins this card. 2 Mavericks season premiere lower level tickets for 32 years. A Cooper signed game worn rookie jersey. A post game photo with Cooper. Private photo shoot with the NBA Rookie of the Year trophy and Larry O'Brien Championship trophy. VIP tour of the Mavericks practice facility with a team meet and greet. Private basketball experience for up to 10 guests at American Airlines Center. And a road trip experience to see Mavericks take on Boston Celtics, including round trip airfare, hotel accommodation, and game tickets. This is a proposed trade. See more terms of the offer at mavs.com/bounty. Yeah, absolute crazy. It's going to be interesting to see if more teams do this in the future and going forward. We will see it in other sports. We're going to see this with maybe the Royals in baseball. We will see this with, Steelers in NFL. We will see this with a soccer team, maybe. I'd love to see it in the latest Premier League stuff that's released over here with Tops. So yeah, very interested. What would you do if you won that card? Would you just straight away sell to them, do the trade, or would you try and get some cash for this? You hear rumors of upwards of like £2 million cash, or that whole stuff there. I mean, the rookie jersey would be interesting. Game worn, he's not going to go for £2 million, but it'd be interesting what would happen with the seats. Like if you could transfer them out, if you could sell them and transfer them out, or what you'd make selling them to each, to the games. I'm sure you make some good money selling them to some big games. But yeah, very interesting. Cash right now, all that stuff. What would you do? It'd be interesting if it was just with the airline stuff. Like if you were a non-US citizen that pulled that card. I think that's pay for me from Manchester to Dallas. Oh, it's a road trip, wasn't it? So was it to Boston? Yeah, Manchester to Boston. It's not as bad, I suppose. And then pay for me back. Be interested. I think I'd try and cash in. Not gonna lie. Being in the UK, yeah, I'd have to try and cash in. Unless he can give me citizenship. If you give me citizenship, then maybe I'll just take that. Citizenship with the games, 32 years season ticket. That's fine. Just get like a little part-time job somewhere. When a part-time job, living in Dallas, I got tickets to the game. I can enjoy my life. That's nice. Maybe I'll take that. So here you go, Dallas. There's my proposal. Everything you said, but plus citizenship. You get the card. But yeah, I would love that to come over here to be at teams. I mean, I think that would be bedlam. I could just imagine the breakers. The spots for Cooper or for Dallas. I mean, they'll obviously take Cooper out and charge you with more now. It's going to be mental. So yeah, I can watch what happened over here on a soccer team. Yeah, it'd just be crazy. In other news in the hobby, we move on from where the money's going to the Dallas Mavs offering you nearly off the whole 9 yards to another grading company having to close or pause a few tiers, and it's Beckett, obviously owned by the people that own PSA collectors. So I'm intrigued by this move. So they have paused, quote unquote, base and standard submissions. They reckon until September 15th, which isn't horrendous. The thing came out a few days ago. It's obviously August the 9th now, so you're talking of like 5 weeks if that day comes true. I just half me thinks they don't want these cards graded by PSA by Beckett, so they sort of said, "Hey, we know PSA is struggling. Yeah, maybe to get into the Beckett stuff over to help out, maybe. But I also think they just don't want so many slabs at Beckett. So what they're doing, and I wouldn't be surprised, SUC and what who else is owned by collectors have the same scenario. So that means you're just not grading with them for a minute. You'll hold out, and all of a sudden, this September 15th will get pushed back a little bit, and hopefully the PSA one opens again. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Beckett one gets pushed back for another few weeks, October, and we start hearing it as a PSA open up a submission to again. So people go, oh, hold out, and all of a sudden, PSA back open, I'll spend $80 and go over there. It's just, it's very weird. Whoever's running these companies, as a big company, the collectors that own it, there needs to be some seconds. I hate to I just get someone to lose a job, but this is just it's just not acceptable. This is bad planning. Yeah, they went through this with COVID. This boom has been coming. As soon as Fanatics started getting involved in getting licenses, we knew this was going to happen. As a hobby wise, it was going to take off. Maybe they didn't see the sort of TCG side of it. I know Pokemon's been massive at PSA, but yeah, they did just a really bad foundation to this company. It's not been good. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Does this put upgrading in general now? Does this made you think, do you know what, I'm just keeping it local? Obviously, being UK, you going to straight that ACE, MGC, or AGS grading. It's kind of sad state of affairs, really. It's like if you're just getting into hobby and you're just learning about grading, and people telling you, oh yeah, PSA 10 is what you need to get, and that's what's going to get you most money in return. Oh, cool. I'll just send the card. Oh, well, yeah, currently you can't. Yeah. There's other company that used to be the top dog and kind of well revered. It's called Beckett. Everyone loves it. Yeah, if you can get a Beckett Black Label. Oh, right, yeah, that's okay. I'll do that instead then. Well, unless you want to pay for this tier, base and standard, and having paused, so you have to wait another 5 weeks. This is depressing. Well, you could just use one of these ACE, MGC, or an AGS and have it back within 2 weeks. And for a third of the cost. That's interesting. Maybe I should do that. It's going to be interesting. Obviously, I think it shows how much. I mentioned it in the last podcast about National Fanatics, how these Fanatics Fest had them sort of, card shows and Fanatic Fest. It seems very much now that the hobby has changed quite a lot, and it is now just such a sort of flipper industry. And I think it's a lot. There's Gary V's snippet from 10 years ago. Where he said, 8 years ago, that the sneak resales are coming to this, and that's all big. Just because you can buy these cards, in abundance like that, and just flip them. And it does seem that way now. These things seem to be aimed more at sort of the buyer sellers, as opposed to collectors. It's all about breakers. Breakers are like getting money. And I know the argument of it gives people a chance to get a good price point if you want a certain team. But yeah, just let people buy boxes and sell the freaking loose cards, man. Well, yeah, but money makes the world go around, I suppose, and yeah, it has to go around, right? But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Are you going to grade elsewhere? Are you just going to hold out? Do you think the market is just going to come saturated now with loose cards because that's what everyone wants to deal with the next few months because of the wait for PSA? I think it's very interesting to me with some weird data these next like 6 to 9 months. Also when PSA does open again, or on this backlog of 12 million cards now come back out. Also then Beckett's obviously got a backlog and able issues. So yeah, it's going to be some crazy data. It's going to be some crazy. I think there's going to be some crazy sales in the market. Going to shift massively. I think with so many cards getting released back into the market, I know it's not going to be like 12 million at once, but there's obviously going to be like a staggered, just backlog of 12 million cards over these next 4 months. Going to be crazy. I suppose 60 probably more than that, but yeah, because obviously everyone's done it at a higher tier, and people will send it straight away. Yeah, it's going to be madness. Going to be madness. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some good bargains out there. I think the market's going to go on a proper roller coaster. I think there'll be some really big lows and there'll be some big highs. It's going to be interesting to see what everyone's respect is for grade numbers as well. If people are getting 8, people are going to respect it a little bit more. Or people still keep it treat it as raw. Will PSA 9s get more respect and have a higher value? Again, I'm someone that talks about New York Times. I buy the card. I see myself as a collector as much as I had the investing side, especially which I'm trying to help people soon with Elite Card Investor, which I'll touch on towards the end of this. Because we're gearing things up there. But I've got PSA. Is it PSA 6? I got a PSA card. I'm sure it was PSA 6, and it was I think I got it for like $13 and stuff like that. So I was like, I don't mind paying like £10 for a graded, numbered Mahomes card. I'm a collector. I've got loads of 8s. I got 9. I must have 9. I've got a few 9s. I've got SGC 8, 8 5s that raise. I've got like if I need the card, I want the card in my collection. Then the grade doesn't mean as much to me. So it's gonna be very interesting. So obviously, I kind of like people don't respect it because I can pick these cards up for dirt cheap. The amount of cards I picked up for less than the price of grading is crazy to me. If you've graded a card and you sell it for less the price of grading, I'm just baffled. So I'm always here for that. I see it as it's my card sort of slotted and protected. The card I wanted is now protected. But yeah. Let me know your thoughts. So you get someone that loves to have a grade? Does it have to be graded a certain way? Does it have to be a certain slab? I know people like certain slabs and certain PSA slabs because obviously they differ as well. And then you have to put in certain bumpers and all sort of stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. Hobby is a crazy place sometimes. A crazy place. And last but not least, and I touched on it a minute ago, I want to sort of talk about Elite Kindness. I know we're in the 8th month now. The 8 months this year have gone past. It is flown by. I've officially been off fuel for a month now. I just want to take a break. I said I did solid 7 months we're in like 3 weeks, I think, of holidays. Obviously not back to back, but without the throughout the months. So that's every 2 months or so having a holiday. I think I got very used to the calories, so I'd actually feel a bit hungry, so I still have a fuel, then have lunch. And at first it was fine just having it as a lunch. Do I feel a little bit different, I think, but I'm not like over it. I would say I've got less energy as much. But I think it's kind of in hand as well because goes hand in hand because I'm having a sort of a better sleeping pattern at the moment because I'm not up watching NFL, NBA till late hours. I know watching these players to sort of invest in. So I was trying to keep on track a lot of the sports that I invest in. Um, so yeah, it's summertime, so the heat's exciting. So my sleeping's kind of been a bit earlier than normal. Yeah, it is a difficult one. I probably will go back on it again. I think I'm going to take like go away holiday in 4 more weeks. So I think I'll take the rest of August off. Start after the holiday. It gives me a good 8 weeks between going back on holiday and going away again. So I get a good couple of months towards the end of the year, which is obviously that time of year where it's sort of like cold season, everyone's getting ill. So we'll see how much that affects sort of the immunity. I think another thing is I'd maybe go on to like a mass gainer maybe, just to get extra calories in. So I'm not relying on have maybe fuel as a breakfast because I don't really eat breakfast. I'm not a breakfasty sort of guy. Maybe at weekends, I'll have a cup of coffee. Yeah, coffee and a bit of toast, or something. But other than that, I don't usually eat breakfast. I don't wake up too hungry, so my body doesn't tell me to eat food, so I'm all right. Um, so yeah, maybe I am actually looking for a new coffee machine now. So if you have any advice, let me know. Not sure what I'm thinking of now. I've got two already at home, but I kind of think I'm a barista, don't I? So yeah, I'm definitely go get a new coffee machine. Love trying coffees, and different beans and stuff. So definitely want to get a new machine just to treat myself, I suppose. But yeah, so yeah, I'm a bit behind with with a lot of stuff. Even putting out some content, I have a lot of content backed up. Just my card collection. I'm not gonna lie, I ran a lot of it through sort of chat GPT and just boom, create some posts, like get them posted out. Elite Card Investor was going really well. I would took a bit of a step back. I was doing other things where I sort of, I don't want to say hit a wall. I had a few decisions to make, and I was like, okay, I need to do some big sort of research, make sure we're going the right spot. But I think now looking at it, I just need to maybe just get things off and running, and don't have to be perfect from the get go, and don't have to do so much of make sure the platform is perfect. It's more a case of that people get what they are signing up for, right, and then make sure everything's running perfect. So hopefully a few more things sort out. But I'm really looking forward to sort of releasing that sort of stuff and helping people sort of make money buying and selling cards, understanding that you make a lot of money on the buying side uh, as well as the selling side. Looking at data, looking at cards to buy, looking at everything from the gem rate of a card to seeing massive price discrepancies, and stuff like that. So, and just obviously general sort of investing in cards that sort of do well historically. Data from doing well. But yeah, that's definitely a goal of mine. Hopefully back in this year, or maybe next year, to get things running, help people in his hobby, and hopefully they again when they make money in his hobby, they sort of stay in the hobby longer. So that'd be cool. It'd be nice to help those people do that. And yeah, have a bit more health thing, new coffee machine. Yeah, I've talked about it before in other pods and for a while, but there's always this stigma when you are collecting cards. It was like you didn't really mention it to your friends. It was sort of seen as a dirty, old, sweaty man's living in one basement's hobby. I think it's becoming sort of, I don't say cool again, but it's becoming more the norm. Everyone seems to want some sort of alternate investing. We always go back to nostalgic stuff, so it's definitely come back into the forefront of people's lives, whether it is TCG or sports cards. So yeah, if I can help people take care of themselves as well, then that would be good as well. definitely start by myself. Obviously, I've not been the same since I think I've probably not been the same for a few years now since COVID, I'd say. And I sort of stopped boxing properly. I accepted that my time is up. Although I still have 3 months left, I believe, to amateur box, which is crazy. But yeah, I can't see it happening. But never say never. Never say never. But no, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for listening this far. You guys are the real MVPs. Take care, and yeah, I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.